Hello and welcome back. My name is Myre and this is the Star Citizen Roadmap Roundup for June the 30th, 2021. So we're really close now to the PTU for 314 and well, let's just have a look and see what the heck's changed and what's committed in the new roadmap. So, notable changes for June. So on the progress tracker, it says that these deliverables have been added to the progress tracker. So new things on the tracker are rest stop hangar replacements. Okay. So creating exterior pieces for small and medium hangars that will allow them to look and function properly as part of overall space station exteriors. So right now on rest stops, we have pads for small and medium ships, and then we have hangars for everything else. It looks like they're trying to do away with the whole pad system that we currently have for everything from Port Olisar down to these rest stops, and then make everything an enclosed experience. Probably because, you know, like, pad rammers are a thing, and I don't think they're going anywhere. And, you know, not only players, but, you know, if you can bait an NPC to hit a pad, or with missile turrets coming very soon as well to defend a station, you can get a lot of collateral damage that way. So, looking forward to seeing this change for these smaller ships. We have small hangars and stuff for things like Microtech and Area 18 and Lorville, so I don't think it'll be too much of a stretch to see them in space. But yeah, they're currently on the roadmap on the progress tracker. Speaking of, we can go to the progress tracker and have a look at them again. So rest stop, type it in here, see if it's actually there on the roadmap. So rest stop hangar replacements. So it looks like this is slated for 2021, and work for this is starting, or is scheduled to start sometime at the beginning of July, and to end just as November starts. That's the time they have put for it at the moment, and the team doing this is the modular team, because of course we call them modules and stuff. Well, I guess the planetary modules. All right, so next is atmospheric pressure damage. So they've changed the name of this. It used to be called atmospheric depth damage, or at least that's how they talked about it in ISC. It's now APD instead of ADD. So atmospheric pressure damage is the damage players and NPCs or ships will receive in situations where the exterior pressure exceeds the pressure resistance of the corresponding suit, armor, or ship. So of course the first time we'll see this will likely be on Crusader, because it's a gas giant and we're going to be basically on that habitable layer where Orison is, essentially. But you should be able to go deeper, and as you do, just like going deeper underwater, you get more pressure. Deeper under the clouds, you'll get a similar thing happening there. It's interesting that they mentioned that suits and armor, in general, when they make these systems, they try and make them systemic, which basically means that if you do it for one thing, you can do it for everything. So maybe sometime down the line, maybe people get their wish and we can go underwater, and then you might need like a suit for that, like an EVA suit underwater to withstand pressure. Maybe you can go to a large planet that has a lot of gravity, but also has, I don't know, a lot of atmospheric pressure as well. Who knows? All right, so let's check the roadmap for that. So that's atmospheric pressure damage. So atmospheric pressure damage, and they've been working on that apparently for since the midway this month, and again work for this is slated to finish for midway in September. All right, next up is Spacescaping. So this is an ongoing thing that they keep doing. Spacescaping involves things like the gas clouds and stuff, but let's have a look. So utilizing gas cloud tech, VDB elements, I'm not sure what VDB means, will be crafted to spacescape to spacescape the environments of Squadron 42. Right. So I think VDB maybe means volumetric something or other. But yeah, so that's for Squadron 42. We already have these volumetric clouds in Star Citizen, but Squadron 42 is a similar thing, but not exactly the same bag. Then Refinery Ships. They talked about Refinery Ships a little bit a couple weeks ago. They even mentioned that the Starfarer is going to be one of said Refinery Ships, but we don't exactly know everything about the Starfarer and how it's going to be a refinery ship and what can it refine. But it says here that certain ships will have refineries built into them, allowing players to process ore using a completely on-board process. So right now, you know, the current process for refinery is, of course, going into a refinery station in a Lagrange point and fiddling with some menus and waiting for a while. But they want you to have the an active way of doing it as well, using a ship. Who knows exactly how it's going to compare to a station refinery? Like, will it take less time? Will you need more people? How is it going to work exactly? We don't really know. Alright, so that's that for refinery ships, but let's have a look and see where that goes in, because it says refinery ships. So maybe it's working on the actual gameplay involved and not necessarily working on what ships need it, as it were. So let's see, refinery ship. So refinery ships, so work is slated for it to begin in October, and it looks like it's projected all the way till the end of March. The end of March seems to be the cutoff point for how far in the future the teams want to project their work. So for this particular one, I don't think that it's going to end there. We'll likely see this move and fluctuate as they actually get into working it. There's also refinery overlays that's here as well, which is introducing new non-commercial overlays to the entry areas of refinery stations to add more variety and theme. Right, so it's not overlays as in HUD overlays, it's overlays as in just how the stations are, and we already have this. This has been done for some time, and it's just removing the adverts and stuff on the stations to make them look a little bit more industrial. Alright, so then we have Ruin Station. So more time and resources are being allocated to the rest of Pyro system. Therefore, we are temporarily removing this deliverable from the progress tracker until its schedule has been finalized. So Ruin Station is this main landing zone, the major landing zone of the Pyro system. Think of it as the Port Olisar of Pyro. Pyro is a massive system with lots of space and, you know, to travel and that kind of thing, but it doesn't necessarily have that many, like, hero landing locations. There's no Lorville, there's no Microtech, there's no Origin on, in the Pyro system. There's just Ruin Station. We don't necessarily know how big Ruin is supposed to be and how crazy it is or whatever, but it's supposed to be that one. I'm sure they can have a placeholder station there for it in the same way that we have these Lagrange stations in the Stanton system. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see on that one. So environmental gameplay. So the EUPU gameplay feature team is allocating resources in Q4 to refinery ships. So we're removing this deliverable temporarily until it's been put back onto the schedule. So environmental gameplay, I believe, was things like just things that you should be able to do within like a biome. Like, I think it included things like hazards in caves. It included things like maybe perhaps even things to do in cities. Places like Lorville have a whole like maintenance area with like loads of panels. Even like back in Levski, Delamar also had like these like places you could go to. This also would have covered things like on space stations, those little like cubby holes they were talking about, and like EVA access points to repair and replace things as well. So they're tabling that for now to work on refinery, which will make miners happy. But yeah, it's one of those things that can come later, I guess. But it's a bit wider a net than just refinery ships that they're working on here. All right, then in release view, these deliverables have now passed their final review. Therefore, we've toggled their cards to committed and changed their color to blue. So finally, we can rest easy because Crusader, Origin, the landing zone, and Planetary Volumetric Clouds V1, which I believe will be for the time being covering only Origin and not the other planets, at least in version 1, with volumetric clouds, are now all committed, which is cool. And then ship interior exterior culling. So this deliverable has been renamed to ship interior object container streaming, and has also been given a more accurate description. So let's go ahead and have a look at this description then. So OC streaming. Okay, how about we look at it again? Ship interior we'll look for. So ship interior. So it looks like we found one of those glitches on the roadmap, and it looks like this particular thing is not actually on the roadmap just yet. But I believe the roundup literally just happened, and this does happen. Let's look for the old one then. Let's look for ship interior. And it looks like maybe for this one it's just not done yet. Alright. Okay. Anyway, so that's that for the roadmap roundup. It does look like, you know, for the most part, good things are here. You know, like, we've already, of course, heard about a lot of this stuff. The newest thing to us, really, is the changes to the rest stop hangar placements. And that changing and maybe even removal of the small and medium landing pads. So we knew that when Luke Presley mentioned a couple weeks ago that they were planning on doing away with the pads on Port Olisar, but I wasn't aware that they were trying to move that ahead into, you know, every other landing pad as well, even though it does make sense just because of how people tend to play the game. You know, other space games out there that do the MMO thing also tend to try and enclose these more fragile locations. Things like, let's say, Elite Dangerous and their mail slot stations and that kind of thing. They exist for a reason. And yeah, we're getting some of that in the future when Star Citizen very soon. Alright, well, thank you very much, everybody, for watching. If you like this video, do feel free to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Also, comment in the description, comment below if you have anything to add. I've been trying to respond and you know, and that kind of thing, and I'm trying the whole community thing on YouTube, so do feel free to leave a comment. I will read it, I will reply, maybe. And also you can join us live on Twitch as well at twitch.tv/Myre. That's where we hang out pretty much every single day. So yeah, you have many places to find us if that's what you want. Anyway, that's a really long outro for me, so anyway, thank you for watching. Until next time though, as always, be good.